Cole. And yeah, I mean, I'm pumped to get this started right now. And Pandas are a team that I feel like I've seen from the start. Like when they first started to get into CS last year, I felt like they were a lot of fun.
No, they certainly were. And, well, as we are looking at a pistol round about to become live, we got fnatic there on the CT side, 9 Pandas on the, 9 Pandas on the CT side, fnatic on the T side, and the assault is about to begin over here towards Anubis on the B site. Now, initial shots going to start to fly. The B site is abandoned here in the beginning. It seems that 9 Pandas have opted to play for a retake. And as we do see the post plants getting settled up, let's see what they're made of.
Oh, I disbalance. Able to dispatch with Crims. They still got Afro here, though. Spotted, now seen. Glowing and Clax, in the meantime, have dispatched with a lot of the hold here on the B side itself. And now it's just up to Afro, who's now grabbed some dualies of his own. Dualies, a little bit better for Clax. He'll pick up 2, and that'll be 9 Pandas with a pistol round victory. Here's the thing about 9 Pandas and Anubis. They have always been good on this Anubis, like, in general, but their T side is very good, at least from what I recall. I have to double check if they've, like, fallen off a cliff or something, but I've always been impressed with, like, their defaulting on T side, and their CT side has always been competent.
Yeah, and no, it definitely is. And well, as we get underway once again here with the second round, of course, we're into a bit of a bye here. fnatic getting the bye allows themselves to have these Galils. One thing to note really quickly is they opted out of utility for the most part. There's a couple of smokes to use for an execute, but other than that, they're going to be going in completely dry, which is going to be a bit more of a problem going forward if they do try and execute over here towards this B site. But for the time being, it's going to be decently slow, but not really too much overdone just yet. And oh, there we go.
It's a guy that I think there's been a lot of expectations on. He's ripping this one wide open, but the trade frag comes through, and 9 Pandas stay with a commanding lead of this one. The 4-on-3. fnatic have control of mid, which I think up until somewhat recently has been like the go-to position to be fighting for the T side. A little bit less so nowadays. For what reason, I'm not actually sure. But fnatic, they've got that area. Smoke goes up in camera, and they will regroup.
Yeah.
Meantime, 9 Pandas, double push through B main. This is great stuff.
Yeah, no, this is quite nice. We're going to see them starting to play for this aggression over here. D1 Leda is going to be looking for this engagement. Ooh, finds out the first, not the second. QB there on the trade. You see Glowing now taking up a fight as well. But, oh, QB running quick. Able to find out 2. Brings it down to even. We're in a 2v2. As the B site looks to be the point of confrontation. Seized. I disbalance. Making their way on up. Gonna go ahead and deploy a little bit of utility. That HE gonna land just a bit far. Doesn't land for too terribly much on the Afro, but of course he does get traded, leaving it all down to the final man. QB all alone. 1v2. Needs to find them both. Plays his way into connector over by Canal. Goes ahead, clears that. Doesn't spot anybody. Holds back, looking towards the doorway. As he waits for them to try and make this move over here for the defuse on B. Oh, he gets a little bit too antsy. That's going to cost him.
This is where I think 9 Pandas as a team, this is part of what I really like about them. Because so many teams would try and force that issue, play aggressively through that smoke. Once they get the spam through the smoke, it's like, okay, we have the 2-on-1, let's just run, take the fight together. They just wait for the smokes to clear. They know they have the time. It's just really well drilled, and I love to see that for this 9 Pandas team. Though, listen, props to fnatic for, I mean, it was a 3-on-4? Yeah, 3-on-4 that they nearly pulled back, and genuinely they played it well. 9 Pandas just had the timing on the spam through smoke to cut it to the 1-on-2.
Yes. And while we'll see, we do see another buy-up coming up here. I'm kind of surprised fnatic are forcing care. They've got themselves the Galils to use again. I'm surprised they didn't just half buy, look to go ahead, have a little bit of utility, upgrade pistols, then have the full buy coming up in around 4. Instead, they force here, and I'm not sure what this is going to afford them coming up. But, well, I mean, an upset potential could be there. We'll see what they do. They have better utility than they did in the past round, so that's something. But they've already lost QB, who was able to do so much there into that previous round.
And the idea here being that they'll be keeping the pressure on, right? 9 Pandas only had 2 players survive, so if they were to get onto the site, not a lot left in the post plant, right? That would be the ideal.
Yeah.
With Kyubi going down, though. That's a hope and a prayer. And they already tossed their utility to Exec.
Nice, Matties. Makes his way forward, able to find a kill. That's the opener. Gotta look for a bit more. Ledes finds a quick kill there. Of course, glowing. Matties doubles it up for himself in the round, leaving it down to a 2v2. Unfortunately for him, not expecting the player of C's to make his way around the corner. He is eliminated, leaving it all down to Afro. He's the last man standing here in a 1v2. Spots out the first, knows that one is over there towards that connecting to mid. Meanwhile, another player, Clax, coming up from the back line. Well, he's going to go ahead and try and force a fight, unfortunately, there for the Frenchman.
They're so separated.
It's just not afforded. Yeah. Well, it's kind of working into their favor. Like, he knows where one is.
Yeah.
But then he's checking Canal for the other. He doesn't have time for the rotate. He's forced into this fight here. Just 15 seconds on the clock. He could definitely get these fights individually, but it costs him so much time to clear. And the MP9 there from Clax is just able to tear and shred him away.
The fact that C's is shying away from that fight tells Afro that the second guy has to be somewhere else, somewhere not towards like Long or towards Temple. But yeah, time certainly the biggest problem in that potential 1-on-3 for Afro. But
I mean, I'd love to see. I'd love to see what Nine Pandas did in that situation. Him backing off was a smart move, of course. It's because like, he didn't have any other information where this other player could be coming from. His best guess was going to be that connector position over by Canals. And, of course, since he clears Canals, no one's there. Then at that point, he's kind of SOL on knowing where that final player is going to be coming from. It could have just been delayed. He could have been tucked down in one of those corners. Instead, he comes up from A main, and or B main, rather, and just guns him down. I mean, done and dusted just like that. So, I mean, it's well done by them. It's well played. Fnatic, they're starting to struggle. They're forced up once again. They have the utility. This time, a couple of AKs in tow, but still, they're on these weaker buys. Can't afford themselves the up. Their money isn't being built, and they're just buying time and time again, looking for a round that works.
I mean, if they keep getting these plants, they're going to keep going for the buys. That's what they've committed to when they do it twice in a row. Whether that's the right call or not, that is the call, and there's good arguments for it. No, it's not been too effective, unfortunately. A couple of close scenarios for Nine Pandas to find success in. A little bit more of a default for Fnatic this round than they had previously. They're going to group back to B as well, but they've got mid control.
Yeah.
Body, it's somewhat tentative, their hold of it. Just got him here, but it's kept 3 strong over at A. He's got rotates. Dilates is going to need more than just that one, and he will get the solo.
A couple of good shots ringing on through from both these squads. Of course, we do see it left down to Afro and Body. Last 2 men standing. Playing here for a post plant over there towards that B site yet again. There's been this high contention nearly every go-round here for the past 4. Now as we make our way up, see them looking for this engagement. Seized. Silently sneaking his way forward. Bit of utility going to be placed. Body finds the first seized. Not expecting him to be there. Idas bounce gets the trade. Leaves it down to the 1v1. Taps it. Forces him forward. There it is. Body able to find out the final. That'll be Fnatic finally putting first round on the board, and well done by them.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of these pickups for Fnatic. I said it at the time, and I'll say it here again. The Body Afro, the French duo here, has been good. I think Body, especially when he's firing on all cylinders, this Fnatic team is a dangerous beast.
Oh yeah,
and he's done it again here. 1v1, bested. And with the Galil as well. Fnatic, as you mentioned, on the board. And here's why keeping up that pressure, keeping up the buys can be so good. Nine Pandas, they lose a single round, and their money is absolutely screwed. I mean, C's doesn't bought anything, and he's on 1,500. So it tells you all you need to know when Nine Pandas are winning 3 in a row, but still immediately, not even on like a half buy. This is just, I mean, this is mostly pistol armor outside of glowing.
And well, as we see it left down into a 3-1 scoreline, Fnatic, they have the chance to go ahead and get a real run of this. You've got only glowing, like you were saying, on a rifle. Then we've got a couple of MP9s, a couple of pistols. So, I mean, Nine Pandas are still attempting this round. But the question is, will they actually be able to make it click going forward?
Good question. We'll find out the answer here shortly. CZ for seized. Not exactly the most ideal, but up close and personal like he is, this could be fantastic. QB needs to check. Give it only a half clear, and he's going to pay the price for it. Body trades, but Idis balance on the site, and now fnatic are the ones in trouble. Weaponry still in hand. Mattis is going to have to pull off something incredible leading the charge. He falls, falters just a little bit. Ilidez alone.
Ooh.
Forced out.
Yeah, nice little kill there. D1 Lettuce dealt with. Of course, our two A1Ss to use in this situation for a 2v2 onto the retake. I'm sure 9 Pandas are going for this. They're going to go ahead and start to look to try and make a bit of a move. Idis balance makes its way up. Nade comes out. Ooh, they spot out the back of Maddie's. Oh no, Maddie's just caught unawares. Of course, Afro able to find out one, but Idis balance quick on the trade. Puts the side of 9 Pandas up at another run on the board, and that is a 4th.
This is the 9 Pandas map that I am maybe most confident in across their entire pool. And it's for reasons like this. Given a 2-on-2, their spacing is usually very good. Obviously, Maddie's just a little bit lackluster there. But I think that Maddie's is the guy who we're going to need to see something pretty big from. And this, you and I were talking before, or maybe Cole was mentioning, but I think it was you and I, that you don't have a ton of confidence in Maddie's. I'm a believer, personally.
No. As we get underway. We've got ourselves a bit of a rifle round to come on through here, fnatic. Galil's back in hand. Man, this is the, what, 5th round we've seen Galil's in?
Yeah, I mean, we can't get rid of him. To be fair, Fnatic's money's always been on the knife's edge.
Yeah, I know it's always been on the knife's edge, but that makes me question, why haven't they stopped to save at least once?
Because Galils are good enough, at least sometimes. Fair enough, I'm giving you a hard time. It's tough, right? Because Fnatic know that the economy for the CTs is not great. That's why.
Yes. That's true. That's true. They definitely know that, and they know that everything could hang in the balance and getting a reset off. Just so far, they haven't been able to. I mean, there's Clax for a double eye disbalance there for the final, and 9 Pandas. They're just continuing things up and onwards.
I mean, and this is where it's getting out of hand for Fnatic. They no longer have those bomb plant scenarios. There's no longer any way that they can afford to take a purchase in here. And I mean, it's round 7, and we're going to see the first actual eco from anybody.
Yeah. Well, we've got ourselves Sec 9s, PG50s, 5.7s, and an eco from Fnatic. Finally, opting to save. This is a good chance for the side of 9 Pandas to go ahead and try and grind up a bit of economy. They don't have the greatest weapons in the world to a degree. I mean, an MP9 on the field of FAMAS, but the rest of them do have competent weapons along with util.
A little bit of canal control.
Yeah.
As soon as the smoke, though, fades away, we're going to see some explosions. Yeah, as it fades, Krem's trying to get up in there. Follow-up from Mattis. It's good enough for the 1, and Body has a P250 with a low HP. Player on the other side. 2 kills done. Dead. Yeah, C's should have this for sure, but...
He hasn't made his move yet. I thought he would through the smoke. But Body, he's reading it. Sees this too. He's not wanting to over-aggress. Molotov put down, trying to flush him back even farther. Doesn't force him out, of course. Goes ahead, plays for the fight. And there it is.
An extra rifle as well. Grabbed up in that base as well. For 9 Pandas, a commanding start to this one. I mean, I think, again, Fnatic taking some risks economically in those opening rounds. And it's not the way I approach things, but I think it's definitely something that can be really effective. They just didn't really get anything off the back of it. And now they're stuck with what is going to end up being the first time they can like have an op, for example, if they wanted to. The first time that they're going to have like all of the kit, all of the utility, and all of the rifles that they would like. It's really important that this round goes well because it's their first attempt at it.
Yeah, we'll see what they do. And I mean, hopefully we could see these players on Fnatic start to come alive. They're currently down by 5. Right now they're in a game of catch-up from here on out, which is really unfortunate to see. I would love to see them go ahead and come alive. But Maddie's, he's got to get this started.
Here it is.
Alrighty, let's get this underway. 6-1, fnatic currently down by 5. Needs to use this rifle round to great effect with the util in their belt to find themselves a second. And so far, it's trade for trade. Maddie loses his life initially, but Body and Co are able to trade it back and forth down into this 3v4. Clax being aggressed upon pretty quickly, drops a smoke. That's going to allow Body to go ahead and cross through, but oh, Clax! Good shot there. Oh, what?
He's done it. He's done it all. This was 4-on-2. Clax gets the opening headshot as the smoke pops, finds another around the edge. Glowing is creeping back in, and Afro ready to go. It's now Clax. He's got the first 2, and he needs 2 more.
Whoa.
Shot, and Afro survives just barely.
Yeah, no, I think he's done, though. I think he's out. Or is he? What's his plan here? Does he play for retake in a 1v2 fashion? He should know that Afro is low. Oh, he's well aware. He's making the play.
No,
he's going to get hurt from this player. Oh, no, Crims won't hear him. Afro could be holding this tight angle. This back corner. Clax, facing his monitor. Starts to make his way up. Looking for the fight. Sopper's going to be a problem. Oh, the op shot's a miss. Goes ahead, clears it in full. Krems around the corner. Doesn't get fully checked. Picks up a naval S. That's it. Krems! Nicely done. Able to find out the closure. Just played it rather quietly, rather carefully. fnatic take up a second.
And of course, it's Krems. Long-standing. Has always had the clutch in him and continues to do so.
Oh, yeah.
Giving fnatic that second round, but man, was it closer than it ever should have been. 9 Pandas, and specifically Clax, nearly pulling out a incredible comeback story in that one. But fnatic,
oh, I know, right?
A little bit of a sigh of relief. Rebuy for 9 Pandas. Oh, and they're going to really fast be taken towards Canals. Natty, not ideal. Out with a nade, and he's gone. Fast as lightning. It's not just 1, but 2 engages for 9 Pandas.
That's a huge start for them. Oh, the up shot as well. Man! fnatic! Do go ahead and find out a kill. That's Body. Finally got one on D1 Lettuce. Interesting smoke to slow things down. Afro! Oh, good kill. I thought he might get caught with that peek. Yeah, no, this is doable.
And, I mean, the good news for fnatic is that they are almost certainly going to be advantaged wherever they decide to bring the bomb.
Yes.
So, as long as
they play together.
Well, that's what I was just about to say. If they make sure they stay grouped up, then they should be looking pretty decent.
Yeah,
50
yeah, I
full
agree.
seconds ready to go.
I do like that Afro is just going ahead and just holding back. He's looking to see if anyone tries to rotate, tries to check for information over here towards B. Lets the rest of his team rotate. Those other 2 players, Krems and Body, starting to sneak their way over towards A. They're by Canal. No one's got information. And they're going B. They're going to play up Canals. And there it is. That's how I just bounced fall. Now Glowing all alone. Dealt with as well. Nicely played. Clax all alone. No chance. That's it.
3-on-5 for fnatic into a 3-on-1 in their favor. I mean, what a turnaround. And 9 Pandas, I'll be honest, I'm not sure exactly where they lost this one in specific, but they give fnatic far too many engagements towards the B site. I mean, they had utility down, and it just didn't seem to matter. I think fnatic getting away with murder here, the fact that they were able to win this round just should never have been possible. And this is a tide-turning type of round for 9 Pandas. Yeah. They had such a commanding lead, but now not only are they about to be economy broken, but fnatic has just had a incredible round that's turned from should have been unwinnable to winnable.
Oh, I agree. That was looking like it was done and dusted the way of 9 Pandas to take it for their 7th, converting the half into their own. But instead, the side of fnatic are able to go ahead, crawl back into the rounds, and they look at themselves being at a 3rd, and they're within 3 of tying things up, which would be the goal.
Yeah, I mean, already you can see the 4th round is almost a certainty. Glax has the saved rifle, but everybody else is about 2K or less. Let's see Zeus come out. I've seen a ton more Zeuses since the change.
Oh, yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you just have a little Zeus to use in these eco rounds? I mean, it's a one-shot kill at close range. And so, I mean, it allows you just to get a little bit of extra money, take away a weapon, maybe grab one up for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's actually kind of gotten into a spot where it's more like you're sacrificing your body to remove an entire kit from your opponents. Because it's very rare that you're getting a Zeus kill and then getting out. Like, that's not happening that often, but you're setting up to be traded, but you've removed util, armor, rifle, whatever. And it is just the Zeus left.
Yeah. I just bounce. How about you jump around that corner and go for the upper?
I don't think he knows who the upper is necessarily right
Yeah,
there.
I know. It'd be funny, though.
fnatic, I mean, a recovery already.
Yep.
But I think that it's important to remember this is still a Anubis. Hello.
Free AK.
That's
yeah, he
a
gets
nice
to win with
fight.
that as well. Yeah, no, that's brilliant.
But this is, like I was saying, fnatic, good recovery thus far, and already I think they're feeling a lot better. But
Yes.
6 rounds for 9 Pandas CT side is already good.
No, this has already been a fairly good half for that CT side team of 9 Pandas. Now, they would love to go ahead and push a little bit further. This is a bit of a T-sided map. But
I mean, it's the most T-sided map in the pool.
it is.
I mean, to be fair, I say that like it's super T-sided. It's like 55, 45.
It's not anything crazy, but it's more CT-sided than or T-sided than most maps. But anyway, get on the way. Shot right through. Yobi! Able to find out a nice little kill. He's good for 2, and just like that, all down I disbalanced and seized. And seized is actually able to find out that frag cleanly. I did not expect him to survive that.
Yeah, but they've already got the bomb site. The fnatic A site is fully overwhelmed. QB is just chilling over towards B and gonna try and take some of these 9 Pandas guns away. And I Balance is not having that one today. 3v2, it looks like, oh, well, this has gotten close. Not really. fnatic had the opening engagement, 2 of them, in fact, over to B, and QB, the guy to deliver body elsewhere.
Yeah.
It was all, I mean, it was all 9 Pandas as well, kind of forcing those fights. It was not fnatic just like getting really aggressive and winning. Body's fight was a little bit more aggressive, but QB's just waiting and watching 9 Pandas try for the B push. They get aggressive, and it doesn't work out.
Terrorists win.
And there we go. Another round's going underway. Of course, fnatic. So far, able to make this first half start to sing. It was looking a little bit rough. Now, 6-5.
Keep an eye on the Ida's balance op. Something that 9 Pandas might be able to utilize. Get aggressive. Yeah, here it is. He's going to take a swing over towards E-Box, but this is nobody seen but a bunch. Well, not actually heard. Klax is just now hearing the stampede of T's
Oh, the Molotovs.
heading their way. Maddie's gets taken out. QB with the refrag. They've tried to make their way in, but Klax escapes with his life intact.
Yeah, nicely done there. Leads down to a 3v3.
He did. He used to have his life.
Yeah. And D1 Les used to as well. Man, things are just so quick there. fnatic able to go ahead and put themselves into a 1v2.
I just balanced though. Quick shot.
Ooh.
Nice trade positions though from Body. to ensure that that goes their way. Yeah, I'm a little bit confused at the way they approach that round 9 Pandas, because initially they're just looking to trade out and then play for the retake. Then it's a 3-on-3, and then they're forcing the issue through smokes. Like, I mean, yeah, they're nading him open, I get that, but it was a little bit weird. I feel like 9 Pandas were sort of in between decisions. And it might have been because, you know, MP9, but I'll just say, I Just Balance didn't have a really strong command of that area, considering he was trying to not quite go through a smoke, but, I mean, he was walking into a couple of smokes with an op.
And hey, I mean, like the attempt, but as we do get back underway, 6-6 all tied up coming into the second half pistol round, and D1 Letters and Clacks with short works of players. Of course, we do see Afro get himself one before he falls. Man, QB Crims all alone in the server in a 2v4, gonna have to deal with it all.
There's a whole squadron of T's.
Yeah.
Over towards mid, like, yeah, they're just overwhelmed. Literally just let the Glocks bark. Everyone had armor.
Just kind of hanging out here for the time being.
Yeah, it's interesting how long 9 Pandas are waiting. On the one hand, you can kind of get an idea of letting fnatic spread back out. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you're also losing a punch of information. I don't know that they really knew exactly where fnatic were at to begin with, but they certainly don't know now. The B site is not where they're located, though. So, Clax will wait till everything's cleared, then he'll punch in the numbers.
And we're going to see them start to advance. We do see Crims close at hand. And ooh, he's looking for this fight. So far, not able to find it just yet, though. He's running around.
They're not giving him anything. Fnatic were only in that as much as Crims was looking for a fight.
Yep.
QB.
Crims was looking for it, seeing if he could grab himself an extra. With a consolation prize.
He's going to hold on to the dualies, hold on to the armor, and bring them into the next round. A commanding one from 9 Pandas, though, to send them back into the lead. That's 7-6. This was the beginning of the round, and 3 strong for fnatic at mid. It's just, normally that's going to be numbers advantage for you, but all 5 9 Pandas players were running at them.
Yeah. I mean, they just played it super quick there towards mid. I can't really blame them on that. It was a good look for it. But we'll see what they're able to do going up and going forward. Now, since they do have themselves a couple of buys. An XM out on the field. What do you think about that out QB?
I think it's still a good gun. It's a little bit less ideal because you no longer have $900 for the kill reward.
Yeah.
But I think it's just as powerful, especially up close.
Oh, it is.
Utility, though, have provided 9 Pandas plenty of space to work with. 5-7 for Matties is unsuccessful.
Bit of a shame out of him.
It's been I think a game of clawing back for fnatic from the very start.
QB. Gotta love the XM, man.
Yeah, but that's all that fnatic are going to be given. That was the real chance for them to try and actually find anything. They do, but everybody else for 9 Pandas is so far back, it's not going to be overswinging, and fnatic know that too. They'll try again next round with the weapons that they've been able to gather up. Bodies added a MAC-10 to that equation.
And hey, that's a little bit of something. A little bit of something to bring into the next round. Of course, they're not going to really have themselves a great buy to work with. They'll have those carried over weapons in the form of an XM, a MAC-10, a couple of upgrade pistols. But this is where 9 Pandas are really going to be able to go ahead and start building up themselves a lead. They're within 2 rounds of hitting double digits. Game to that 10th round is going to be the goal marker for them here on short term. Of course, long term is going to be 12. But as we get back underway.
Fnatic, looking like a pretty fast play. They're going to stack up A.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that auto Shawnee playing a bait setup with a scout in mid. And maybe. Oh, they've thrown the good molly. There's the one molly that doesn't quite reach the edge there, and then there's the good molly. A little bit of a reroute for Fnatic. They try and regather back the space, and together they will find it. Unfortunately for them, it's moving towards A, 9 Pandas, instead of B. Bomb is in that direction, and and they found nothing either. I mean, what a big win it would have been to take out an AK and be able to shepherd that off for another round. Instead, Fnatic are left with not good weapons and not a lot of time to do anything with them.
It's not great. Maybe Body and Afro go for a little bit of damage. Taking away a weapon would be quite profitable for them in terms of devastating the economy of 9 Pandas, but I don't know if they'll even have the chance to do that. It doesn't seem like they'll advance too far forward. Yeah. Maybe they're just opting not to give away those kill rewards instead.
Well, that, and they want to keep the Kevlar.
Yeah, that's true. That too.
The Body's just been spotted, and I think they're only going to survive because 9 Pandas don't seem too interested or active in fully fighting this. Yeah, even a defensive smoke put up by the T's, but Afro goes down. Uh-oh. It's not the end of the world, but it would have been nice.
Well, there we go. Another round on the board. 9 Pandas are edge of the right closer and closer to 10 rounds. Fnatic, meanwhile, they've got the rifles finally. And here into the second half, this is where they have to come to life. Well, let's see what they do. So far, it's going to be a bit of a spread. Not wanting to push towards either site immediately. Wow.
Pistol rounds have been good for 6 total, right? I mean, pistol and the follow-ups been worth it for 9 Pandas in a big way. This is where I think 9 Pandas are typically very strong on this map, is the way they approach their defaults. It's quite methodical. They can get quick and active, and sometimes do. This might be one of those times. Good to see this smoke fade, and flashbang. QB fully caught off guard. The MAC-10, it's clearing everything. Fnatic have lost this round, unless they get something crazy very fast.
Really have to make their way. Bit of time running out. They get themselves on the site, pushing forward. Maddie's plays aggressive, gets himself one. Super unfortunate, probably needed to wait for his teammate to get into the position. I don't know if he was forced out by Molotov.
No, he wasn't. There was a flash to kind of lead him in there. When Body goes down, though, on the lurk, like he was the guy flanking, that's when the round's really over. I said round done a little bit early. Because Fnatic had Body moving through mid, it could have been different. But yeah, once he's dead, Maddie's going in there is just too deep. I think that, considering the scoreline, Fnatic a little bit desperate to kind of bring that back. But it's... Again, it's back to the play style we've seen from Fnatic all day, though. They are playing for the aggressive decision a lot of the time. And,
yes,
you know, when that works, that's great. This game, it's more often than not been unsuccessful.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate for them. I like to see that aggressive play try and come through, but just hasn't been able to net the successes that they need. Well, as we get back underway, bit of a tactical pause coming through. Can't blame Fnatic for finally taking one. They've got to think this through. The second half hasn't been kind to them.
And I mean, this Fnatic team, they've had some ups and downs recently. I mean, it was not ideal at Pro League. I feel like they They started out strong, you know, picking up a VP win, but it all didn't really do much from there.
Yeah.
I mentioned that, you know, in the Doctor qualifier, they beat Apex in a really close 2-1 in like the upper final of their group, and then meet in the finals and just get 2-0 demolished by Apex. So that's kind of where the inconsistency that I'm talking about comes from. Where I think you bringing up a valid point about sometimes the firepower is a little bit missing from this Fnatic team, and I think this is a map where that, it seems, is happening.
I've said this on stream many times at this point about one in particular player over many different iterations of different rosters that's on Fnatic now. I think that Matties can be absolutely fantastic in some situations. But the problem is, in my opinion, my experience with the way he's played and the things I've seen in the past when it comes to local lanes he used to play in the past up till time on Sampy, that sort of stuff, he would either do just tons of work, put out great firepower, or it was just not there for him at all. And one of these times is right now he's seeming to be a little bit middling. And I will say Matties has definitely hit his stride over the past couple of months here in 2024, but it's still a little bit that inconsistency that he can't really afford to have when he's trying to get these deep runs into playoffs. And I think that could cost him going up here. But we'll see if that does pay out here. Could be completely wrong, but as they are down into a 3v5, let's see if there's anything that Fnatic can do here as they have themselves just these weaker weapons.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not just a one player issue right now either. You look across the board, and there's nothing that has really been impressive, right? You think about Body, who wins the critical 1v1.
Yes,
that was a big moment, but outside of that, opening duels just have been difficult to manufacture.
Yeah, no, Body has definitely been one of the big saving graces when it does come to Fnatic here into this map right now. He's been able to do just a ton of work going ahead, putting himself up 12 and 11 currently. He's the only player that is positive on the roster. And that's because he's been able to go ahead and win out those 1v1 moments, like you've been saying. He's been able to win out some of his opening duels, while the other players have just been kind of struggling to get themselves onto these defending positions and being able to hold them down, especially here into the second half.
And then into the second half, right, Nine Pandas have looked unstoppable. I mean, I was bigging up their T side for a reason. The way they approach these rounds, I mean, that was a long, drawn-out round for Nine Pandas, where they just defaulted into default into default and waited out Fnatic, grouped up, hit a site late, and by the time they were even grouping to hit the site, it felt like Fnatic had already lost the round. This is where that needs to change. Afro, on and off, he's been missing, unfortunately. And that is one man that I'm looking to maybe make that change.
Well, we'll see if they're able to. Let's see, Fnatic, what do you have in store for us today? We'll see a bit of aggression come out there. Crimson Coast start to make a bit of aggress over here through A main. That's Body along with him. We do see Matties and co playing over there towards Canals at B, over by Connector. So far, no one's been found by it just yet. Nine Pandas are playing this out very stealthily.
Nine Pandas know what's going down, but they haven't given away that they do know that, right?
No.
Yeah, Crims is still searching. But this is not bad for Fnatic. As long as they can get away with this map control, then they'll be a little bit happy. But look at the response from Nine Pandas. They know that the aggression has come down through A main, so they're expecting that there's probably some space to work with at mid. That's true. And they're going to be able to walk in. Now, granted, it's space that Afro has given up, considering he's swinging E-Box. This camera player, it's Body, and he's just playing for Infro. He's going to, as soon as he sees somebody, toss the smoke, and with 35 seconds, that might just be enough.
This could work out nicely. Let's see, Afro. He's holding by Canal. Of course, we're going to see them start to make their way over here towards A. We're seeing the rotates already making their way through as well. I just bounce. He's ready and waiting. I think QB knows. Yeah, he does. He finds the kill, though. I just bounce good for one. Afro does get the trade, leaves it down into a 3v4.
They're going B.
And, ooh, they're going B. Oh, the fake. I mean, it's worked. No way.
This was not meant to be a fake. This was a last-moment ditch effort.
Yeah.
Pandas have to move. And Klax is here to play spoiler right now. But Afro going to slink by all the way up mid. Unseen. Now he's on the flank, but it's with an op.
Yeah, no, we'll see if he's able to accomplish what he needs to with that flank. But to make their way up, glowing. Well, D1 Lettuce is able to find out too. Glowing, waiting around the corner as well. Things are scary all of a sudden. fnatic, they were looking to try and get themselves the 7th round. Afro finds one. Glowing finds his teammate, leaves it into a 1v2. Now, one player's incredibly low, but the time is up. The chance at that retake is gone. Afro able to get 3 into the round, but no more than that. A 12th on the board, and Pandas put themselves up at map point.
Dila's just getting out with 2 there. It's
no.
It's absurd. And
yes,
honestly, Afro going down after time, that sucks. But they've got so much bigger problems. Great job from Afro to. I mean, I asked him to have the impact, and he does. Right, like Seized is taken down thanks to his swing through Canal. Like this was good, but you just have to trade this. You have to trade this. He can't get away with just getting 2 untraded kills from Pizza. Like, he's playing a 1-and-done there, and the smoke even covering off Glowing. Oh, man. That's the error from fnatic that is, I mean, essentially seals their fate for this map, I think.
Yeah, no, this is basically over. Unless we get a wonderful comeback like we did there in map 3 of our previous match. We see fnatic go ahead and crawl things all the way back from 6 rounds down to a 12-12 scoreline, which is not impossible, but it could occur here and now if we are lucky. But as we do get rolling underway once again, fnatic on that CT side, they have to look good from here on out and make no more mistakes.
Yeah, the no mistakes part is the hardest for fnatic. Well, it's been pretty mistake.
Good shots.
Centric type of game. Body, though. Yeah, nice shots indeed. Seized will get the refrag. Man, this is still fighting up mid. Good disengage from him. Crim's caught in basket. And this is the A site pretty much wide open. They're going to force it, though.
Yeah.
We're
going to see Maddie's and Co get the way up. Maddie's looking for a fight along with Afro. Afro good for 1. Maddie's falls away. Afro's good for a second before he's eliminated. Leaves it down to Glowing and sees as QB is now into a 1v2. And QB's looked pretty decent in this game. He has been on the bit of the slower side. Definitely waking up here in the latter half. We got to see him go ahead and start things off with a headshot. Goes for 1. There's the opener. Not the second, though. Seized, able to close it. That's all she wrote. The side of 9 Pandas take map 1 in a astonishing fashion to put themselves 1-0 here in the map pool. Of course, Inferno is our second map of the series. That's fnatic's pick. So hopefully they have themselves something a little bit better on there. Only time could tell if that will be the case.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the reason that I had so.
And here we go.
Yeah, we'll jump right into things. Inferno, I mean, look, this is potentially going to be interesting because, like, win rate wise, these guys have the same win rate. They're both they're both at a 38% win rate, which is, like, I think 3 out of 8 maps that they've won. So
yeah, no, 8 maps each, 38% win rate. They have won the same amounts, but the question is, who will improve that win rate? As we do see D1 Lettuce start things off. He's able to actually get 2 there. That's surprising. Thought he was going to be retreating back farther from maps, but still able to go ahead and re-engage in that fight. Brings it down into a there's a 3rd. That's a way to do it, man. D1 Lettuce showing up while I disbalance is there for the 2. Just like that, full house in between these 2 players to go ahead and put themselves up at a 1st.
Yeah, and I mean, this is why this guy has been so good, right? Taking not just the first engagement, you think, okay, that's going to be traded off, sure. But then going back for the 3rd, like, that's just crazy aggression. I mean, I guess they're feeling the confidence, but either way, 9 Pandas victory in the pistol round. And I'm trying to remember. Yeah, that's all 3 pistols this series that they've had thus far.
And which is really, really strong for them. I mean, it's looking good. We'll see how much farther they're able to go ahead and push it. But be cool to see them go ahead, win out 4 of them in order to do this in 2-0, but we'll see what ultimately happens. Also, something I do want to note really quickly, just to highlight this. I'm not sure if we talked about this already, but on the map of Inferno, the past 2 times that fnatic have played it, up against Amcall and Eternal Fire, we saw that go 16-13 fnatic in 13-2 to fnatic. So, I mean, they're on a bit of a win streak when it comes down to it, or they could be starting a win streak, rather, here on the map of Inferno. And that's something that they definitely need to do to build up a little bit of extra confidence when it comes to this map, because it's something they play quite often, but they don't win it that often. And that's a bit unfortunate for themselves, because it's obviously a map that they're practicing and ready to go on.
Well, and I think to add to that, right, it's those recent results that give me more confidence for Fnatic, because prior to that, I mean, it was rough. They were on a pretty significant loss streak, and I remember I casted one of those losses against Apex where it was a heartbreaker. They had it was like 11 to, I want to say 7, and they lost 5 in a row for Apex to win 13-11. So like, yeah, that was the last loss they actually had, and that was all the way back to 1st of April. So we're almost a month out from that, and ever since then they've had wins. And I think specifically that win against Eternal Fire in Pro League is one to kind of note. But either way, pistol round. It's just the start. Fnatic don't quite have that one. Mattis is on a hero rifle right now, but he only gets 1 out of it. It was just a Galil bot over, so body I think has invested in. Mattis has gotten the half Kevlar, but it doesn't really give them much of anything. And I do think that is where your criticisms that you were talking about last map kind of come in, because if he's getting those resources, he's got to deliver.
He really does, and like I said, he can be a little bit hit and miss, but we'll see if he's hit or miss into this run, as we do see a fairly full investment coming on through here from Fnatic. Of course, since they did force up a little bit there into the previous, we do see a Tech 9 in the hands of Body, the rest of them Galils and Kalashnikovs to use. The utility is there for them as well, so maybe they'll be able to use that to get themselves a way in edgewise into one of these sites. And here for the time being, it's going to be decently slowly played. They don't necessarily want to overdo it just yet. They tease away at mid, tease away at B, just looking to see if they can catch someone out, getting some information, maybe get that initial frag, and boom, like that, Afro already able to find out the first. Seized, dealt with, and that opens up arches.
And it does. And all while that's happening, Fnatic were pressuring Banana, so it's not like 9Pandas have a good command of what's happening now. iDisbalance, I just realized, has an AWP into this 3rd round, which is very early to have an op-out, but because they were so dominant, and they farmed up a bunch of cash on MP9s, they'll be able to get there. Clax. Afro kind of lurking out. Now it's up to iDisbalance in the op. Clax.
Oh, iDisbalance
stays alive. Somehow Clax is the one to stay living for so long. They doubled up inside the site, and Krems gets away with 2 on the final opportunities there. That was utter chaos.
Nicely done. Yeah, no, it was utter chaos. We do see Fnatic come out with the win off the back of that. I'm surprised they did. Clack surviving for that long, I thought that could have spelled disaster for them. So, like, quick shot by iDisbalance. He gets caught here. Of course, we see Clax find one. He survives for a little bit longer. He's buying time. The rotates get through. But then that first player out of the smoke dealt with immediately, and then Krems was able to follow it up. So, I mean, that's super well done there by Fnatic. There were some mistakes that came through from 9Pandas. There were some great moments for them that could have won the round, but just didn't ultimately pan out that way. And now, as we get into the next round of regulation, we see ourselves on MP9s there for the size of 9Pandas, and XM out on the field as well.
Yeah, pretty decent setup, though, on towards port side. Crossfire, actually, for bracket right now for 9Pandas. But yeah, I was a little confused at why iDisbalance was making that move to mini pit, but he got mollied out. And so that's just Fnatic utilizing the utility that they do have. Remember, they took a Tech 9 in order to make sure that they had all of those. And, well, he's not going to find very much success if he's mollied out of position, but they aren't going to follow that fast enough to get any confirmation. Meanwhile, the B site under pressure. Afro is taking the first, and that smoke isn't exactly perfect, but Matty's has still gone down.
Yeah, no initial picks being made here, as we do see trades going back and forth. They would love to go ahead and gain themselves an advantage. It seems like they want to head B towards this site, but I'm not sure if they'll actually commit to it. We're ticking down below 40 seconds, so they have to make a commitment soon. Yeah, they're going to decommit from B and head towards A. Now, iDisbalance, he's in a good position to get 1. And if he can get 2, that would be where his life is well lived.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, yeah.
His chances of doing so. Ooh, well, they've just taken a huge trajectory upward. Nobody checking him at first. Oh, but up close Afro. It's no scopes for him.
Oh, that's it. Oh, Clax, that's the equalizer. Never mind. Not done just yet.
I do think this is it. I don't think they have no kit. I don't think they're going for it.
Oh, they don't. You're right. I didn't see that.
But Caesar's going to get the gun or glowing. Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's well worth it. He's going to search for a little bit more. It's not going to overpress it, though. Can't blame him all that. Just goes there, peeks through to arch side, see if anyone's there. No one's there. Goes ahead, backs off.
Incredible
That's probably the
impact.
smart move.
Afro, I mean, what impact from him this round? He gets the opening fight, takes a win.
Yes.
That's nice to see, and then he just barrel stuffs Balance. Who, I mean, most of the time, that's just going to be a perfect spot for the MP9, especially versus the Knock. Close up around the corner. No dice. fnatic looking to make this a 3-map win streak on Inferno.
And well, that's the way to get things rolling. Like to see it, like to see it. And alrighty, fnatic, can you continue it? You're coming into, of course, just a bit of a safe round that Nine Pandas have a couple of weapons to use. 2 rifles, a Kalashnikov, and an A1S. Meanwhile, seized on a XM, and of course, 2 USPSs. So maybe some damage to be done.
And you know, this might be an adjustment, right? Based on the fact that they're going to have to be dealing with Dust too soon. So fnatic, you know, a little bit of a... They were never terrible. I mean, they had a pretty terrible run of form, but they always played a little bit of Inferno. But
yes,
considering Overpass going out, that's another middling map for them.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to adjust into it.
Yeah, it's one of their most played maps there as well. 11 maps played over the past 3 months. Of course, their 2 most played maps, which is Nine Pandas 2 bans, Vertigo and Ancient, are the most played. So losing Overpass here is losing one of their core 3 maps. And now they're having to adjust on to Inferno, and I assume they don't want to play Nuke from here on out either.
Yeah.
Because the last time they played it was a couple of months ago. It was a 13-4 loss to BetBoom. So yeah, they're having to make an adjustment to figure out what's taking the place of Overpass in this situation.
Yeah, it looks like Nuke perma typically for fnatic based on that play rate.
Yeah, I reckon so.
So it's 5-on-4. This isn't a really big investment round, but with the couple of rifles that they saved, it's still a dangerous one. So fnatic have to be careful.
And that's the biggest problem for them. Now, we're going to see them starting to make their way up. USPS gets a couple of taps off, gets some good damage. Body's incredibly low. Or not body, but Krems gets tagged down. Balance just looking for the Zeus kill. And he's just holding. Yeah, just chilling out. Doesn't mind if he goes down to bomb. Those 2 rifles being carried over again would be massive, though. That's great for the econ. We'll see if that's allowed. It looks like there are some hunting going on. Balance not going to get lucky. Unfortunately, no one heads his way.
No, it's a pretty clear indication of a round done, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
A couple of low HP bars for fnatic, but they keep it incredibly clinical on that type of round.
They really need to as well. They're trying to build up econ at this point. I mean, Afro, he's done well to go ahead and save up money. He's already up to 5.5k. That's going to allow him to have that op buy coming up regardless of what happens in the next. Because, I mean, we're going to start seeing the rifles come out here for Nine Pandas. Nine Pandas with the op as well. Balance holding on to that. They could be able to go ahead and keep this at a tie. Put themselves 3-3.
Indeed, yeah, close already. Maddie's leading the charge. This is a attempt to take some banana control. That HE, oh, Maddie's up in front of it. He's so quick on the trigger. Glowing will fall. There was nobody close enough for Nine Pandas. Even provide support. Retake nades for the top of banana. And it's Galadas to sort of lead the charge. That is a little bit ambitious from Afro. Fortunately, Maddie's is there to continue to equalize things.
Been able to go ahead and keep things equalized. Look at that. Nice kill. D1 Lightus. Oh, having to get aggressive because of the Molotov. He gets a lot of damage off and finds himself a frag. Now making their way up. Balance clacks. Yeah, they're so low. They're on the fnatic side.
Not ideal for Balance, though, with an op. I don't know that he has a sidearm, really. Clax is going to have to be the critical point. Making this such commitment here from QB. But on low HP, I love this.
Balance.
This is actually great for
that's
the...
it.
Yeah.
Oh! God, so close. I love the no-scope.
Yeah, nicely done. Too bad it doesn't matter. Too bad it doesn't pull anything for 9 Pandas in the round. The pistol round is a bit of a flash in the pan right now for 9 Pandas. Maddie's, it's the heat up we've been looking for. This is the type of style that I have come to expect from him. To get out, right? But as soon as you get the refrag, he's right up in your face. And the 2-on-2 ends in Fnatic's favor. Yeah, the op in the 2-on-2 was always going to be difficult when there's a smoke up for CT. This one's not really an investment.
Yeah.
Pistol armor for 9 Pandas.
Well, pistols just to use, not much to do, unfortunately. Most likely, Fnatic should be able to go ahead and hit 5 here. That would be goal.
What fine that would be. I mean, especially where Fnatic have just had bad start after bad start, and well, I mean, it never even got to an end other than losses back on Anubis's second half.
Yeah.
But considering they've started out each half a bit of a rough situation, the fact that they've so quickly recovered on Inferno is one that I'm hoping is going to be a consistent factor. This Fnatic team, I like to watch them. I think that they are a pretty good team. I think that when they are able to find some of their individual form, they're very strong. This is the B site open, and nobody actually playing defense against it.
I don't blame them. They just want to play a bit of a gamble stack here with the upgrade pistols. If they got lucky, they got lucky and found out some frags, maybe the round there on A. But of course, it was just them seeing if anything would happen. They'll rotate over and look to play for maybe a bit of pressure, put down some damage. But other than that, that's going to be the end of the round with the 5th on the board.
And slow for Fnatic. Once again, I mean, I just want to reiterate how important it is for them to be winning these rounds in clean fashion. They go down to the 2-on-2 in the previous round, and, you know, nothing wrong with that. It was a gun round. But both of the anti-force buy, pistol armor rounds have been really, really clean. And Fnatic are building off the back of that.
Well, as we look to get back underway here with the full rifle round, this is where things are going to start to get a bit more interesting here for 9 Pandas. They have the AWP, they have the A1Ss, and this is where they have to start activating. Fnatic have looked really strong here on their T side, and it's a good look for them. But we'll see how much farther they're able to push it out. 9 Pandas, they haven't really contested some of these rounds that have been onto the pistols, and I can't really blame them for that, playing these gamble stacks. But we'll see if they can go ahead and start to change some momentum from here on out.
I mean, I think playing those gamble stacks is sort of not the only way to approach Inferno, but unless you're just getting aggressive, then it kind of is. That is tough. Black tosses that HE, and Crims is right in the way of it, gets behind a corner, and it's entirely nullified. In fact, it allows Crims to walk forward. He gets dinked, would have been dead if the HE did anything, and instead he's the one to win the duel.
Well, as we look to get a couple of frags out here for the side of Fnatic, they've been able to go ahead and start to show the cracks over here towards the A sites, finding out some picks. Of course, there is still one player to play for the fight. That is Disbalance, holding on to that AWP. The rotates are starting to come through as well. That could be red. There's the time to play for the rotate.
Very strong. 9 Pandas, they've got the right read. And it looks like Fnatic are pulling the trigger. I say that as they very slowly pull the trigger. Got 30 seconds. What is the holdup here?
And alrighty. Good shot.
Bomb's moving out.
Able to find out one. Yeah. No, I think they were going for information. It is a little bit ill-timed, but they will be able to get down towards site quickly enough.
I'll be honest, I think that this is incredibly risky there for Fnatic.
It was. Like, if someone was larking.
Literally anybody at the B site could have won that round.
Yeah. Like, that would have been it. Of course, they weren't primarily over towards Zay. It was read by Fnatic. It was a very risky read, though. But no retake to be attempted, even though they're down to a 3v3. They're just too far away. They have a kit to use, but it's just not what they want to go for.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable, the fact that they're just insta-saving, but Fnatic are going to win this round. I don't particularly love that from them. But,
yeah.
Hey, I can't argue with the results, that's for darn sure. And the Crims goes down. It is expensive, but Fnatic keep adding to the tally. Now 6 rounds. They're already walking into halftime with at least equalized at 6-6. That's best case scenario now for 9 Pandas. His balance does a great job of ensuring that this is a hefty price tag.
It certainly is, but Fnatic, they've hit that 6th round marker right now. We do see 9 Pandas here into a game of catch-up here for the rest of their CT side. Possibly into their T as well, if Fnatic do net that 7th round conversion. There's a bit of util. Toss one out, trying to go ahead and flush players out of position. It works like a treat there in the beginning. An initial pick did come through on the C's, just not able to activate. Meanwhile, ooh, that's unfortunate for D1 Lettuce. Maddie's able to come up in a big way, finds them both out, and that's going to be all she wrote. I just balanced Clax, last 2 minutes standing. QB gets a quick kill on I just balance, and Clax all alone.
It's another double entry.
Quick round. Yeah.
And it's towards the B site. He's got it there before, and he does it once again. There's something there for 9 Pandas, too, because consistently, 9 Pandas have never been winning banana control. Like, this whole half. Even when Fnatic are sort of late moving towards A, even then, anytime Fnatic have any presence towards banana, 9 Pandas don't have that control. And initially, they were playing sort of, they threw their first round of utility, would allow Fnatic to retake it, and then they would throw retake nades. But even that hasn't worked out. In this round, they fought a little bit more aggressively, and Maddie's just comes in, rips their head off, and, well, Bob's your uncle. Done round. Easy.
Well, nice little extra kill there. He's not going to survive. Bit of a consolation prize. He found out Maddie's. But, well, Fnatic, they're on a nice little run now.
This is, I think, a lot on 9 Pandas at the moment, because Fnatic are setting themselves up correctly, but they're also playing post plants pretty much perfectly. And 9 Pandas need to do something proactive in order to, well, it doesn't have to be proactive, but they need to do something to make sure that Fnatic aren't able to just maintain such early banana control. And it's not like they've not had utility. They've been saving a lot. So in these gun rounds, they have had utility to work with. Here, look.
Yes.
I mean, Fnatic haven't even really pressured banana.
No, they haven't. They've been playing it really hands-off in that position. They're just letting car control be held there by 9 Pandas. They've been forcing rotates every time over towards that A site when they have gone towards B, taking at least 1 or 2 players off, which allows them to go ahead and have a bit of an easier time of entry. And it's worked out flawlessly for them. I mean, we're looking at a 5-round differential here into the half, round 10 of regulation already. And now we got to look to see if 9 Pandas can go ahead and look to counter that. Of course, as we do see some pressure being applied over here towards A. 1 player break deep into apartments. We'll see if they go ahead and commit into this. They could ultimately head towards A off of this, but
This balance is going to creep up with the op. Try and set up a little bit of a more stable banana hold. And as soon as they do that, now 2 players rotate back off from 9 Pandas. We get the 4-man stack at A. 35 seconds. All the utility being thrown at Clax. He's got a very close angle. He'll get another one. And a nicely played round here from 9 Pandas.
Well, as it's down to the final 3, Maddie's on the up, oddly enough. Not gonna be overreacting time. Crims does get a kill, but is very quickly dealt with. And there we go. 9 Pandas. Very much needed round.
Yeah, and listen, I asked for some sort of response. I don't know if we exactly got it, but it was an op set up at B. Wasn't really super proactive, but they had the control that they needed to. And because Fnatic weren't interested in pressuring it this round, they end up with a pretty easy call once the op is set up, top banana, to stack up towards the A site. Klax was already doing a phenomenal job by picking up 3 kills on the exec.
Now, bit of util being tossed on out. See them advance their way forward. Looking to play through mid and alt mid here for the time being. 9 Pandas looking for a last little bit of ditch success. Here at the end of the half, doing this at 5-7 would be goal.
Same setup as the last round, remember? B site with an op set. Very quick, though, for Fnatic instead. They're going to take full arch control this time. Something they didn't have last time out at this A hit. Doubled up. Mini pit, big pit. Sees, has a little bit of space to work with, and Blax is still stuck behind the smoke. He's spamming away. Going to get another one. They've got to clear him out. Matty's forces the issue, but Seized is unmoving. Bomb might be down, but there's just not a chance that Fnatic should come away with this round. 1v4 from Afro.
Afro, let's see what you got. Not much. That was I like the attempt at the timing shot. It just wasn't there for him. Another round goes away as we do see 9 Pandas net themselves a 4.
This was a good idea from Fnatic, though. I actually really like that they were willing to adjust for that. I think they found out, got some information that this was a relatively hit side hold, but the defensive smokes from 9 Pandas dropped in the middle of the open, making it difficult for Fnatic to actually take those fights. So instead, they're just spam battles, and 9 Pandas get the better. They have so much more cover.
Yeah, no, they certainly do. Well, as we get back underway.
He's more aggressive in mid this time. Flash to lead him in. Get the first, drop an HE, and stick around. And now he's going to get out. No need to be playing that aggressive once you have the advantage.
I like this out, Matties. He wants to try and take another fight, maybe catch a rotator. They know that he's there. They're not going to take the fight with him. Ducks himself into the corner, so I mean, he won't be spotted immediately. Catch the rotate. Ooh, timing. Ooh. Ah! I love the attempt at that. It's not there for it, though, unfortunately. It leaves it down to the final 3. They've got to commit here towards A. 50 seconds on the clock. They know that B has a stiff defense on it. They're not sure if there could be more over there versus A.
Well, I mean, when you're 2 men down, a commitment is really what you need to be making. Isolated.
Ooh, seized.
They're hoping that
that's it.
we could maybe
Bomb's
find
down.
something, but...
With bomb down, Krems over there towards library. One sitting into apartments. Ooh! How do you win that fight against the op?
It's made it a little bit more doable, but 9 Pandas will walk away with a couple of rounds at the end of the half. It's sort of a bookend, right? The start, they win the pistol, they win the follow-up, and then it's a run of 7 there for Fnatic, unanswered. What's interesting is that 9 Pandas, I think they had a good response, especially with the B setup, but Fnatic actually never ran into it. They never got to use that B setup that they pulled out a couple of rounds in a row, and
yeah,
it doesn't matter. 9 Pandas good on the rotations, and then this last round, they just win every fight.
Oof, man. That is a 5-7 scoreline with 9 Pandas. Coming into the second half with a bit of momentum. We'll see if they can go ahead and continue it on, though.
Momentum, yes, but the scoreline, not so much. Maybe Fnatic could maybe get a pistol round win. Imagine that.
That could be nice. That could be nice. I mean, if they don't, we're going to be looking most likely at a tied game.
It seems like it. And Panda's going to wait a moment in order to toss in their utility. Smoke goes up in front of them. And they're not going to respect it, not at all. Into the frying pan, and it's a firing squad. And Pandas get nothing done.
Well, what do you do here, I Disbalanced? You got anything in store for us that's crazy?
I mean, I doubt it, but especially with the bomb down. There's a lot of respect that Matty's is giving on these clears.
Yeah.
Okay, now Matty's can speed up.
Yeah, no, he knows now. All the information in the world is there. Of course, I just bounced 1 HP. There we go. Didn't take much at that point.
And there it is, Fnatic first pistol round of this series. It comes in their 4th attempt, and a relatively clean affair as well. 9 Pandas. I think that I mean, obviously they don't have the same information, but they had just accelerated once they got banana control. They probably end up getting a post plant. Unfortunately, they waited out, and understandably so, to make sure they can put up the utility, make sure they can just get a smoke for CT especially. But that allows time for the Fnatic rotates to come through, and it's a quick situation. As I guess we've lost QB.
We lost QB. QB's gone. Where did QB go? That is the question. Apparently, it is quote-unquote lag, so he's probably having some issues with his net.
What is his body cam?
He's laying a stare up into the lights.
Surely he's walked away. That's gotta be he's walked away.
Yeah, no, he has. He has.
Be funny
That's
if he
the top
like,
of his chair.
It'd be funny if he was like just head down or something.
yeah, he's just taking a quick nap. Just giving us a quick moment of reprieve before we get into the next stage of this map.
9 Pandas Inferno, though, I mean, it's been, I would say, okay. But
yeah.
I wanna do a quick hypothetical with you. Imagine if 9 Pandas don't win that pistol. And it's just Fnatic win the pistol. Obviously,
I mean,
credit where it's due for 9 Pandas picking it up, but this would be such a different conversation that we'd be having.
It would be.
Because those rounds, that run of round that Fnatic had was just really strong. There wasn't a lot that 9 Pandas were figuring out to do about it either.
It was a bit incredibly rough there out of the 9 Panda squads. We did see them really come back to life at the end of the first half, rather. In the second half, they've been able to go ahead and have a little bit of something, but it's still not there for them. Fnatic just going to be looking to go ahead and try to put themselves up towards double digits. If they're able to do so this quickly, that'd be a great look. I mean, 2 rounds are needed.
That's fair. And you know what? I think we gave Fnatic a really hard time on Anubis, and fairly so, about what their win conditions are. But I do think one of the strengths of this Fnatic team is that Matty's needs to have high, like a somewhat explosive impact. And he's certainly been their highest rated player since coming in here.
Yes.
But as a whole, I think that this iteration of Fnatic is actually very consistent across the board. Right? Like they play a replicable form of Counter-Strike, where a lot of teams, you need your superstar to show up, and I think that this is a good example of a map where you look at like the actual numbers, and it's nobody's going crazy, but you think about the impact that Matty's had on some of those T-side gun rounds down Banana, and like that's him doing his job, and it doesn't matter what the actual numbers look like. It's impact.
Yes, no, he's definitely been able to go ahead and get a lot more impact than he did on map 1. He's had himself some really good moments here. It's allowed Fnatic to go ahead and put themselves in that 8-5 position. We got to see if he can continue that now that we've got everybody back in the server. But it'll be interesting to see how it actually rolls out from here on out.
Yeah, thankfully everybody back, but it looks like we're still chilling for a second. Also of note, no bomb plant in that last round for 9 Pandas. So
yeah,
the T pressure that normally accompanies a CT win on the pistol is most certainly not going to be there. I just balanced his bot attack, but I don't think it doesn't look like they're going to be full investing. There's a tech and the single flash.
And honestly, that's not even that bad of an investment when it comes down to it. Look at this. He's got 1,500 to use. Coming up into this next round as well. He should be able to afford himself a little bit of something since he's not buying down into the lower hundreds.
Well, it looks like we're going to get unpaused. Here we go. Once again,
yep.
Fnatic are making their way back into this series, right? I mean, this is their final quarterfinal. And we already saw a hair-raising map 3.
Yeah, we have.
Mirage.
We could see another one.
It might be here. We shall see.
Here. We shall see. Because 9 Pandas are only 3 rounds down. They're on their T side. They're going to be looking to go ahead. This will be a 9th round to Fnatic ultimately. Unless I just found something just absolutely crazy. But as we do get rolling underway, time to see what they're made of. Do they have anything in their back pocket for this one? Or is this just going to be a very quick closing couple of rounds?
Well, I think that we'll know the answer to that soon after this one, especially because the first gun round will be the telling signs. Set up towards the A site, pretty good. We're not playing too up close and personal, and I was gonna say the utility suggests maybe a apps pop, and that's what we got.
Yeah,
but smoke out. They gotta go through that smoke. They might just do it. Yeah, here we go.
They could potentially. Yeah, they're just gonna pop one out. Flash comes through. They run on down. We see first kills come out. QB and Afro very quick. Nicely done there. Full house in between those two players to go ahead close things on out. Fnatic. That's that 9th that I was speaking about. And now on to maybe a 10th for them. 9 Pandas have the rifles to use. And that's where things are going to start to get a little bit more precarious. Let's see if they can go ahead and start to make a run back to tie things up.
This was nice stuff from QB. I thought he might have been in trouble, right? Like the FAMAS actually in that spot in particular. Normally, I would say fine in pit, but like, it can run out of bullets very quickly, especially if you miss anything. I think he did a good job of handling the pressure.
Yeah.
There's a couple of MP9s for Fnatic sticking around. Afro and Maddie's on them. 9 Pandas. Fighting a little bit for banana control, but they are locked out. The early smoke down. And they'll have to retake in a moment. Meanwhile, a little bit of a creep up.
Ooh.
What a flash.
Man. That is a very nice swing. Now, Afro, good for 1. Does fall. Seized. Getting that puts down a little bit of extra util. It's down to a 2v4. I mean, this round, it seems to be done and dusty even here on the minute mark. We've seen some crazy stuff in 2v4s. But I have no idea if it's going to be doable. His body. Oh! That's it. That's what they needed. They're just going to run it down through banana now.
Or
oh, no, they're not.
Oh,
this...
Well, I mean, they just didn't know how clear it was.
Oh, man. That's a shame. That's that info. The rotate comes back. Bomb backing out again. Glowing continues to make the fight. Krems. Oh. Ah, nicely done.
Now that is a little bit tough for 9 Pandas because they don't know how open the B side is. And, of course, it's more of a 50-50 than anything else. Here's the real winning play, though, this round. QB gets the flashbang from Krems, and he's got 2 lined up on a FAMAS, too. Right, and I just want to mention again, Fnatic came into that FAMAS and a couple of MP9s Now they collect a couple of AKs. Bring the op in up against another pistol buy. Double digits for fnatic, and it's looking more and more likely that we're going to be seeing Mirage.
Well, as we get back underway, Deagle's outs in the hands. And of course, just Kalashnikov's A1S's up there for fnatic. Right now, they're edging us closer and closer to map 3 here in a moment.
Full control down banana for fnatic in the moment, and it's going to stay that way, at least for the time being. Because, well, only this fight could dispatch them, and I don't think that Deagle's going to be enough against 2 M4s. In fact, Glowing has spotted them pushing even further down.
Yeah.
Ichi has a bit of chip damage. Okay. This, I do think that I'd kind of like to see them take a look at changing that specific angle on Inferno.
Yeah.
I think that it's become unreasonably difficult for the T's. Like,
I don't know. I think it might not that it's just unreasonably difficult. I think it's more expected now.
I mean, it is, but like, you've essentially created an angle with 2 angles.
That's true.
And I think that that's inherently a little bit unfair.
Oh, nice little kill.
Even if people
Like the
play against it differently, you know, obviously they're going to make those adjustments. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But regardless, I mean, it's Valve. Valve does what Valve wants.
True. We do work on Valve time.
We work Valve time all the time, including during during matches if there's an update.
That's also true. 11-5. It's been a flawless second half, and I'm getting some deja vu here, Doug, because we're looking at fnatic putting together a very similar story to what 9Pandas did on their second half of Anubis.
Oh man, yeah, no, Anubis was a treat though. Of course, it does leave us into a rather interesting position when it comes down to it. 9Pandas could be able to go ahead and make that run back. But fnatic, they are just 1 round off. Let's see what they can do. Quick op shot is a bit of a whiff. That's unfortunate. Klax escapes. He's lucky to be alive there.
Yeah, he really is. Especially when QB was in position if he had chased the op to take him down. And that's actually good decision making from Klax, not to overextend. I think the obvious answer when that happens is you think maybe you have a bit of a timing. But this double op, we didn't talk about it, but I do want to key in. Body with an op on B.
Yeah.
Afro over towards the A site.
Love that double up setup. We'll see if it pays out for him as we do get on the way, and so far it starts to do so. Body finds 1, of course, does get traded. D1 Lettuce there for the frag, leaves it down to a 3-4, edging the way up. Maddie's looks for a fight. Ooh, doesn't spot up, but D1 Lettuce certainly does. It goes ahead, brings it into favor. There's still a player close ahead, and that's Crims. He's going here, the bomb flanks back out of it, wait for his teammates if he does want to play for the retake, but I doubt that comes through. I have a feeling they're going to go ahead, back off, and look to try and maybe save over into the next.
Afro's still actually on the A site itself, so Grim's just sticking around. He's the lowest HP player, but he's most definitely not going for this. He's hoping for exits, I guess. And in fairness, all of fnatic, they have money. That is not true for 9Pandas. If they were to lose too many players, they would be rebuying and in some trouble. But Afro will get out with his op. Body's the only one who's lacking cash, but that'll be easily dropped over.
Well, this was a very much needed round taken up. I love what Body tried to do there. He went for 1 and attempted to go for the second after the blind did fade, but just wasn't able to pull it out.
And that's an angle that Maddie's was on that you really just have to get proactive on these days. Because if you do what he did and just kind of stay passive, if they do check you, you usually are just dead because you're sticking out a little bit almost all the time, and you're gambling that they're not going to actually
Yeah.
dial in and check that angle. So a little bit too passive, I think.
A little bit. A little bit.
Sixth round, 9 Pandas finally on the board on their T half.
Well, as we do see a 6th round up, let's see how far and how long can 9 Pandas go to deny fnatic map point to send us on into map number 3. That's gonna be the name of the game from here on out.
Whew. Nice damage done there. The glowing HE followed by the spray.
Yeah.
9 Pandas pacing up a bit and taking control towards App's area of this map. It hasn't
Good initial
changed.
pick.
Yeah, it hasn't changed the fact that fnatic still grabbed the man advantage early.
That's a huge, huge pick as well. That eliminating glowing. It's definitely going to help them out quite a bit. But as we see them starting to edge way long, it looks like they want to head towards it here towards A. Now, the player they need to deal with just immediately is going to be Krems. He's waiting around the corner. Of course, they do eliminate Afro and start opening things up. But him in that corner, then his teammates by Arches. I think that's, who's that? Body. Playing there. That would have been massive. It's a great crossfire. It looks like he might try and escape. Maddie's in a very awkward position now. Finds one, no more than that. Clacks. Trades him back. That's a 3v3, but the bomb was sighted. I think they rotate off of that.
Well, they've certainly put somebody there so that it's not empty, but that guy's hearing nothing, so the second man who was trying to come back in, he's going to fall back away. Oh no, Krims! I don't know if that was just it might have been a fat finger type of vibe, but regardless, not the time for an HE or a utility. 1v2 for Body. He's collected the first, and he can get up onto the site. Now knows where Clax is at, but the longer that he takes to hang out behind this smoke, the less confirmation that he has of what's going on. And with the reload come off, Clax now could be anywhere tucked on site. He's chilling at default. Swing off of the contact. He's heard a jump, and he will swing Clax.
There it is.
In the one-on-one.
Nicely done there. We see things go ahead and finish on out. As another round goes the way of 9 Pandas to go ahead and keep them alive into this series. We'll see if they can go ahead and keep this going from here on out, or if fnatic can go ahead and find their closing rounds.
Money reset. I mean, for fnatic, it's a attack pause coming to this one, but I mean, QB has 4K. Afro had just about 4K before investing into an HE, but everybody else is long way off from full investment type of money.
Yes, they are, and that's a bit of a shame for fnatic. This really allows Pandas to have that chance to get themselves towards 7, 8, or rather 8 and 9. Getting up to that 9th round, being within 2, that begins to make us look like a tie impossible. Round 24 as well, if we get all the way there. Now, as we get underway once again, let's see, 9 Pandas. Do you continue the streak, or does it fall short?
That is most likely going to be continuing this streak for the moment. After a scoreless opening to second half, 9 Pandas have finally forced the eco round, even if it's a little bit more to Yubi at the very moment. He's got the MP9. A lot of damage done to these banana players. And all that damage, they'll rotate 4 to A. It's just Body. Just on a jiggle.
Well, things are played out slowly. Of course, fnatic just gamble stacking here. There's one player remaining over there towards B. If that's found out that there's only one there, I'm sure we'll see 9 Pandas capitalize on it. Heading towards A would be a brutal mistake to make.
And they don't have any control over there. I don't think there's any way 9 Pandas are going to be committing in that direction. They know that this shouldn't be a particularly strong buy, and as much as you could be walking into pistols, as long as you have the utility, which they do, they're putting out, should be able to overwhelm. Just plain gun out. That is the B site player gone. So even if they were walking into a stack,
yeah,
confident on their execute.
It's good for them to go ahead and do that. That goes ahead and puts themselves... That's 8. Now, the buy into the next should be there. Fnatic are playing to try and deny that 9th round. This upcoming one is going to be a rather critical round for Fnatic. If they drop it, that's where we see 9 Pandas really start to bring things back underway. But I have to say, taking away these rifles... Now, that is profitable. Able to go ahead, climb themselves up an AK for Maddies, and I mean, the economy here for these 2 9 Panda players that did fall, it's not great.
Yeah, it works both ways, both in giving QB and Maddies AKs. That's huge in and of itself, but like you said, it's not as if they're overflowing with cash, and what little bit they are building up there are going to have to be reinvested. So, not sure if it's going to necessarily matter long term, because Fnatic, if they win 1 round, all 9 Pandas needs is to ensure they have a buy for a 2nd round. Because if Fnatic gets 12, well, 1 more and it doesn't matter. So it's a slim margin.
Yes, it is. Well, let's just make their way up. Oh, glowing! That's a great look. He finds Maddies and body. Of course, Afro does trade it back, leaving it down into a 4v3.
Yeah, but that is incredible. Being able to get away with a man advantage. I mean, and on Inferno in particular, the man disadvantage is felt massively for the CT side.
Yeah.
It's always going to be favorable for the Ts to have to even have an even scenario, but less players on Inferno is brutal to deal with for the CTs. And, well, Smoke is out onto B. The bomb not committing there, but I think once they find that nobody's home...
Yeah, they'll head there.
Once these calls is over, yeah, I think that they will all rotate.
Yeah, there it goes. He's called, that's free. They're going to make their way back over there. Go ahead, get the plant. And everything will be chilling.
So, Crims will hope to hang on to what is a full kit of utility, and there should be a chance for him to find a rifle. They know that QB dropped an AK top mid. The real issue is that they don't know if it's clear. And
yeah,
it's a lot of util that Crims has in his pocket right now. I don't think that they're going to find it to be worth it. Here's the thing, right? Fnatic, if they do save both the op and the MP9, I think they can still probably muster a buy because they saved 3 guns previously.
Yeah, that's true. They could be able to muster a buy. They should be able to muster a buy. Maddie's up at 32. Body. Go be able to afford up. And the only one that won't be able to afford his own rifle is QB. And Crims, he's got a full belt of utility. He'll be able to drop that over no problem.
Yeah, this is nice. And Crims did actually find the rifle from the body that Afro dropped in CT. This was how it all opened, though. Glowing. I mean, it's 15 seconds into the round, and he's winning them the round by that. Repush for Fnatic. I said that having a man disadvantage is so difficult on Inferno because, I mean, you just have to either wait and see or try and get a little bit aggressive. Had to get aggressive to get information, and UB falls too. 2 rounds is the difference. Fnatic, they do have another buy. Yeah, Maddies is taking a lot of damage. Body's in the same boat.
Afro, though, is able to take a life. That's an opener. Look to try and play off of it. Oh, it was a collateral shot.
2 legs, 1 bullet, and still
no kills.
He doesn't get a kill. Yeah. That's rough. So deep down banana, though, Fnatic. They postured Maddies there. And he's going to line 2 up himself. This is looking like it's Fnatic's round, especially with Maddies getting out of there. 50 seconds. Bomb deep. into the T steps.
Oh, man. This is unfortunate here for 9Pandas. I think this might be where the run comes to an end. This was the critical point. Molotov goes down. We'll see him back on off. They're trying to draw maybe a rotate away. Try and maybe sneak on to B. Could work out. There's players towards Speedway already. I don't know if they have the time. Yeah, no, they're backing off. They're saving over the op. That'll be a round going the way of fnatic. There's going to be another buy to come up here from 9Pandas to try and get themselves to double digits. But fnatic, they've gone ahead and secured themselves map points off the back of this.
Yeah, but the combo we were having before about 9Pandas and their economy, job done in that they should have enough to buy next round. This is where, oh my goodness. Afro gets robbed, but Maddie's actually set up to do the job anyway. Flashbang, he'll creep out and gets them both. So, Afro starts out strong with the AWP, and Maddie's will close it with the rifle. Now, speaking of closing, fnatic just need the one in order to close this and put Mirage on the docket.
Well, let's see if they're able to do so. Mirage is about to be here, possibly. Of course, 9Pandas full rifle to go ahead and try and deny. Enormous damage done immediately, but I just balanced there with the first pick. Backs up, is able to avoid it. Body playing aggressive, finds one, but I just balanced there for the trade. So far, things kept even, but I just balanced, eliminated by that HE. Keeps 9Pandas out of the advantage, at least for the time being.
And it's 9Pandas trying to really fight aggressively for Banana. And I think that they found success there. Remember glowing the double entry previously. Maybe they could pull it off. And honestly, it worked out for them. But the HE late from Maddie's just turns it from even to less even. Now that, he's walked all the way through. He's in their spawn.
Yes. Oh, look at this.
Well, sees. Don't know how he's found QB through the smoke, or maybe QB's walking through. I didn't see, but Afro is asked to 1v2, and things might not quite be over for 9Pandas' run here.
No. I mean, unless something gets hit here by Afro, that's just absolutely mental. 9Pandas are looking to continue this on. 1v2, one at 14 HP, the other 76. Afro starts to sneak around, looking towards Banana first. Starts to look over towards Church. Problem is, there's a player coming up from behind him. He's completely unaware. Watches for the first. Hasn't made that move just yet. Oh, seized. Gets found out. D1 Lettuce. Here's the tap. And there's the swing to finish it off. They stay into it. 9Pandas. Map not done just yet. They hit double digits. 10 for their side. No rifles brought over. We see 9Pandas going ahead and bring themselves within 2. They're looking for overtime.
They will lose it all, but there's enough to the rebuy. This is the opening engagement, right? Crazy aggression from Body, but his MP9, it does the job, and Maddie's from all the way deep, still able to win it out. But we didn't get to see any of it, but Dilades goes all the way through. He's into CT spawn, he gets a kill, and it's not just that, QB as well. Dies through smoke, trying to regress down Banana.
And, well, Body and Maddie's very quickly able to start things off. Find out the first 2. This might be it. 9Pandas, this would be a shame for you. You're within 2 of overtime. You've already got 2 heavy tagged players that are still living here. You're looking at glowing and seized. Being tagged down towards 50 and below. And man, there in the first few seconds of the round, that's brutal. Those are brutal losses.
Yeah, it's tough. But 9Pandas got to keep their head up onto this, even though it would be a very difficult comeback to make. 3-on-5, we've seen chances at that before in this series in particular.
Well,
Afro
try and make their way up. Afro. Oh! Out-dueled. Overswung. Good kill. Gets things opened up, and HE there on the QB. They should know about he is over on this side. Yep, there it is. Clack's able to find it. So far, Crim's there to find a kill. Leaves it down to a 2v3. Plant. Not down just yet. Going ahead playing for these fights, that's a mistake. Bomb's down. All to Glowing. Glowing finds one, but not two. That's it. fnatic able to go ahead and close it on out. That is a 13-10 finish to send us to 1-1. Certainly, our day is not over just yet. We're looking at the map of Mirage.
Matty's, he brings a little bit of inconsistency, and if you want this decider here, you're going to have to claim it on Mirage, and he's going to need to step up.
Nine Pandas looking to face.
Indeed. Nicely done for fnatic to bring us here, but we'll have to pull it off. And Afro, he's pulling off a couple of headshots. He's stuck up in here, baited in for 9 Pandas, and Afro won't be able to clear out anymore, but that's job done, right? 2 for 1.
Yeah.
He's picked it up.
Yeah, nicely done there by Afro, able to go ahead, find out the first 2, leaves it down into a 4v3. The advantage for 9 Pandas is lost. They're looking to do a bit of maybe a B pop, but unfortunately, as that's not available now, they're going to go ahead, back on off, possibly re-circumvent your way out over there towards that A site, but we'll have to see how it ultimately is played. But for the time being, it's going to be slow, and they're going to go ahead and take some control of mid.
Yeah, so one little positive here that 9 Pandas have, it might be at a man disadvantage, but body's tagged down pretty heavily, and they still have a bunch of their utility, right? I mean, smoke, 2, 3 flashes, all of that's still available for them, and I don't know if Afro had a kit or anything, but they can get onto a site, activate a post plant.
Yeah.
There's currently not one available for fnatic to utilize. It's coming back to the B site. Smoke down for Mark Window and Catwalk as well.
Ooh. Able to jump on out. I just bounced. Finds out the first. That's Body falling away. We do see Krems trying to take this fight. Goes for one. Not able to find it. Glowing takes his life away. Of course, QB close at hand. Going to get the bomb. Getting tapped on down. Starts to make his way up. Looking for a fight. Opts out of it here for the time being. Waits for his teammate to join him. It's him and Matty's looking for this engagement. Let's see. They're going to be able to find this. That's going to be the question. Now shots ring through. Matty's gets found along with QB. Very quickly, 9 Pandas to go ahead and take up a first.
I mean, that is a surprise considering the opening engagement of that round is Afro kind of giving man advantage over to fnatic, and they even still have 2 at the B site when the XZ comes in. So,
yeah,
a bit of a concerning situation there for fnatic.
Yeah, no, it's definitely concerning coming out of the fnatic side. This allows 9 Pandas to go ahead and get themselves a really competent buy on up. We do see dual scouts making its way onto the server. Krems and Afro holding on to those, while we do see Body and QB on 5-7s along with Matty's. We'll see if they can go ahead and find themselves an upset here into this round. It would be a difficult thing to approach, but we'll see how it ultimately gets played as we do get underway with a bit of pressure looking to be applied over here towards mid that's opted out of as they make their way towards A. This could be just a classic A hit.
I think that's certainly a possibility. They're going to toss a window smoke as well to kind of provide support for this C's lurk that's coming up underpass. Well, I like this response, though, from the con player. That's going to provide at least some coverage and make it very difficult for C's to activate on the right timing. And it isn't so much an A exact, but we're just going to contact out to the site. Madison's flash, but his balance gets up ahead of it. Unsuccessful on his first shot, and fnatic find themselves locked out of the site.
Yeah. Smoke's going to be highly useful into that round, of course, as we do see them go ahead and secure this A site. It's still being aggressed upon. Look at this. Afro getting off some good shots. Hasn't found himself a kill just yet, but Body certainly does. Of course, as the trades start to come through with Clax finding one, it's all down to QB and Afro. There's not much you can do in this situation.
Well, that's the high health player gone, so now there's a lot more that can be done.
Yeah.
fnatic, you have everybody on low HP. Clax now giving away. Shot connects. It's Afro in the one-on-one. Tap of the bomb. No kit. And Glowing knows that he doesn't have to commit. He'll just be standing, waiting. And as soon as Afro walks forward, he might know not enough time. They all go down. Afro with a very nice close to this round. It's just a frustrating addition that they won't win it.
Well, as we get back underway, this is 9 Panda going ahead, taking up another their way. That's expected off the back of a pistol. It's a pretty dicey round when it comes down to it. We saw them lose almost all of their rifles. I think one was saved over.
I mean, 9 Pandas doesn't get out with anything.
Yeah. I know they don't. You're right. That's my bad. I forgot about that. Of course, now that we see the Kalashnikovs and Galils having to make an appearance, it's just a USPS round. Afro, he saved over a scout to use here into the round. Maybe he can go ahead and get some more damage done with that. He was able to take away all those rifles, and that allows fnatic coming up into a rifle round to possibly look for a bit more of a position where they could reset the economy of 9 Pandas coming up into the future. We should see 3-0, but 4-0, that's going to be a different matter because we could see fnatic go ahead and start to make a big run of rounds from there on out.
A stack for fnatic this round. They grabbed up, didn't find anything. The B site is where 9 Pandas will stake their claim. It's a pretty easy way to get a third round, I'll tell you that. Just considering they choose the right site and walk onto it free of charge. Its balance has even made his way very far forward in order to try and farm up a little bit more cash. All it does is on a MP7, which not very common to see, but
yeah, well, maybe they go ahead and find themselves a little bit of extra damage here and now. And yeah, Krems, good low kill. That's Ida's balance falling, get a Mac 10 in his hand. Of course, we do see D1 Letas go ahead and try and sweep up a kill. Fortunately for him, no more than that. And hey, 2 SMGs. I doubt they're going to want to hold on to these. If they bonus over these weapons, that would make for a bit more of a rough round. But regardless, we'll see the rifles make their way on out. Now, one thing to note, 9 Pandas, not in a great buying position.
No, they're in rough straits right now. I mean, the round where they win it but lose all 5 players is just very, very expensive, and they're starting to feel that. Well, they already did feel that, but they have fully felt that at this point because, I mean, a loss here, this isn't any sort of bonus. There isn't really anything to fall back on either. It'll be Afro getting a bit aggressive here in B apps rather. Excuse me. It would. We'll get a shot at that one. Doesn't quite connect, and so they will hit the go button. Afro still not able to go forward. Lots of flashes come
just
through.
Blinded.
Yeah, nobody can see. Afro eventually will get there. His third opportunity to take a shot, and he'll deliver. Enough so that 9 Pandas will evacuate the area.
That's what you see, things being slowed out here for the time being. fnatic, that was massive out of them. They were able to completely stall out side of 9 Pandas that were looking to play for a bit of aggression over there towards B. That's going to cause them to go ahead, fan out all over the map, looking to see if they can find themselves an equalizer. If they're able to do so cleanly, it could be a good look. Maybe a boost here by glowing on Ida's balance. And ooh, Krems able to catch out one.
So no equalizer found. Nothing to be speaking of, and Afro might get another chance at this one if Glowing opts in, but he will not. Instead, fnatic take their 5-on-3, and they'll go home with the ball, rather than try and force their way back into a fight. They've already won. Too strong towards the B side of the map, but with time expiring, 9 Pandas will be giving it up. And this is where the money talk gets activated once again, because nobody will get cash. Klax can kind of drop something, but
yeah,
I mean, if he does, he'll have no util. Glowing will have a bit of util, but it's not good. I mean, 1,500, 1,400 first loss bonus is always going to be rough, and it's even more rough when you don't have any cash to begin with.
Well, yeah, it's a bit rough, but we'll see what they ultimately do going forward. It is 3-1 with 9 Pandas leading by 2. They've got themselves some weapons brought over there from the previous Tech 9 butt up for D1 Letas, but they're going up against the fully stacked side of fnatic. They've got themselves the AWP in the hands of Afro. The rest of them on A1S's full util belt to work with, and we'll see where it goes. Let's make their way around. For the time being, it is rather spread out, kind of a default towards either side along with mid, seeing if there's any control that we can taken up. Maybe someone pressing too far forward that they can exploit. But as Afro does just that, finding out seized. Big opener there to connect into ramp room. He's able to put fnatic up by 1.
They'll stake the claim there, and might be even more. Toledez is down inside of this deep connector smoke. And they've spotted him. Maddie's is checking the boxes, looking, and to check him out, but he has called for Crims to be ready in rotation. Here it comes. Smoke out. Top of Con, and as that smoke looks to faint, Toledez is going to walk through. The Tech 9 not good enough. Maddie's in tow.
Ooh.
Crims and Maddie's with the crossfire. The 2 remaining 9 Pandas members will be creeping out A.
Yeah. Starting to make their way around. See them edging their way up. Quick shots. Ring through. Clax able to get himself a nice little kill there. Of course, Krems follows it up. We do see Afro there to close it. And fnatic, they take another round. And just like that, 9 Pandas. Things are going to start to get really scary for them as the scoreline is really closing up. Just within 1 of a tie. There's no rifles to use, and we should be seeing fnatic go ahead and tie things up in the 6th.
And just talking of where Fnatic were at in these rounds, right? They get the early engagements, and I think that in general, right, Fnatic are just taking better fights right at this moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that there was not a lot 9 Pandas could have done that round. They didn't have a ton of utility to make it work, so their options were limited, but never going to be ideal to watch that happen. That is a lot of utility tossed. Glax and the nades will do him in.
And it's just been very, very swift. I mean, that's expected coming in here.
Because
that's going to be...
I think Fnatic now, their mid control, it's been good. A little bit of tapping away there. I want to see 9 Pandas. Honestly, I'd be down for an exec of some kind.
I definitely would be too if you're 9 Pandas. You got yourself into a rifle round. You have a decent utility to use. They could definitely throw A smokes or B smokes if they wanted to play for that. A lot of util used immediately when it comes to this mid position. We're looking for that control. Of course, Fnatic have been controlling mid quite nicely over the past couple of rounds now that they got weapons back in their hands.
Smoke for window. Should have maybe given C's the additional space to work with, maybe to creep up underpass.
Yeah.
That was the plan, but the Molotov well timed, and so Fnatic a little bit of extra time to set up. Boost up into window for 9 Pandas.
I love that. Seized. Does Maddie expect you? That's the question. Oh, finds him out. That's so unfortunate. Seized. You needed to go ahead and watch for that. Fortunately, there for 9 Pandas, already a man down. They're going to go ahead and start to toss a util over here towards the B site. The assault's about to begin. QB and Maddie's going to be looking for the fight. Maddie's loses his life immediately. QB responds back with D1 lettuce, but of course, he's good for 2 before he falls. Glowing trades him back, leaving it down to a 2v3. Now, Glowing, I disbalance. Stuck themselves here into a bit of a post plant. They're down by man, and they've got to find out this equalizer before anything else begins.
Yeah, but they've bought a lot of time already with the smokes.
Yes.
Those fading away soon. And here comes Krems on the flank. Fnatic with time. And they can make this happen. Up close in window. Really have to deliver if your eye is balanced. Glowing. Left unspotted. Now
nice.
It's all up to him. He's got the first.
Yeah,
Picks
Glowing.
up a second. And Krems.
Making his way up. Looks for the fight. Spots him out. In the Molotov. He finishes him. But it's so limited. Does he have this?
No.
Oh.
Not gonna happen. Glowing was on for an ace. He doesn't quite get it, but he does win the round, and that's gonna have to be enough. 9 Pandas not only able to win that round, but again down to nobody. It's economically, it's problematic.
Yeah, no, that is incredibly problematic. For the side of 9Pandas dropping that round, or for the side of fnatic dropping that round, it was really, really close there into the retake. They were able to eliminate all the players there. It took Crims far too long to find out that last frag, though. The Molotov able to claim the last life, and we see it put down into this 4-3 scoreline. They're leading by 1, but it was such a critical round, and they lost so many rifles. The buy isn't too comprehensive. Coming up into round 8, we're looking at the side of fnatic, even with a round loss, having the superior weapons to work with.
Fair enough. And, you know, here's where I think Afro's op can absolutely be the difference maker for Fnatic generally, right? There's nothing firepower-wise that can answer that. If Afro can get into a good position, quickly taking mid control and glowing, he's all the way into ladder. He's just 5-10 seconds into the round, and this is potentially what would be the setup for the fast B hit. Bomb is there. 4 strong for 9Pandas. Here it comes.
Oh. Ooh, nice swing. D1 Letters able to go ahead, start things off. Of course, Glowing following it up. Able to go ahead, get himself an additional rifle there for Klax. That's massive. 2 A1Ss collected. And that's going to be fnatic forced on back.
And this is, again, just pacing up for 9Pandas. I think they recognize what they had there. They know that they don't have a bunch of utility late round. They know that they're not necessarily even going to be able to, like, get up in the face of fnatic if they stall this round out. And so just instantly taking the mid fight. And it's not about winning mid. It's just about getting one player, in this case it's Glowing, all the way deep into ladder room. He's the critical part of the B split. And they run through a smoke, catching off guard the defenders who just happen to be up close as well, which is now becoming a little bit of a pretty consistent find for Fnatic. They played close on that B hold almost every round that 9Pandas have been there. So even though they haven't been there every round, it's looking like it for 9Pandas.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. Things are starting to edge their way slowly but surely. Wow. As we see this tactical pause come through, Fnatic just thinking things through. They have themselves the rifles to use yet again. A couple brought over is going to allow that to happen. Gotta love that additional kills coming out through. I mean, we've seen some really good stuff coming out of Fnatic when it comes to mid control. Some of their controlling factors over towards B have started to be dismantled. And that's starting to get really scary for them.
I mean, this here, honestly, it's not even bad from the Fnatic hold. Like, they are just trading, and they're going 1 for 1. And realistically, that's the power that 9Pandas play has. There's a lot of presence felt towards mid. Even though there's only one player there, there's a lot of presence felt towards the mid area.
Yeah.
And so they can creep up behind the smoke, and once they hit the go button, 9Pandas are in the face of Fnatic immediately, and there's just no recovery, because normally your goal as the B player is just to buy time.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the goal coming into this. Well, as we get back underway, let's see what they've got. Some utility being put down. D1 Light is able to find out body. That's a major opener. Let's just go ahead and find out too. Things are starting to look really good here.
I mean, Afro's 10-2. I've just realized that's insane. Unfortunately, he's going to stay that way. He's going to have to save. Darlotas just walks out of the A ramp. He finds two engagements that go his way, and Crims is trying to nade his way through the smoke in order to equalize. Unfortunately, he's the one to get taken off.
Yeah, I mean, it works out beautifully for 9Pandas. D1 Lettuce, those were 2 kills that I don't know if he should have been able to get in that situation. Just waltzing out of the smoke to find out the first there close by. Second one, able to get it from a bit of range, and that's the 6 there for 9Pandas. I mean, Fnatic, at this point, you're into a game of catch-up for the next 3 rounds and a half. You would love to go ahead and put yourself at that 6-6 scoreline, but a lot of momentum has started to shift away from you, even though you were able to gain control pretty early on back your way for this half, but it might have all fallen apart.
Well, and as much as it fell apart that round, this is actually falling away from Fnatic relatively quickly. A lot of close rounds, a ton of close rounds. But 9 Pandas still putting together the wins at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Is all that matters. Think about the fact that 9 Pandas have won 2 rounds where all 5 Ts are dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, as we are rolling back underway, we've got ourselves a bit of a round here for Fnatic in terms of a buy. It's a bit tough just due to the fact that QB and Body are both onto lesser weapons. We have that FAMAS and MP9 in the server. Of course, the rest of them, A1S is up. And just say, go ahead, play counter utility. He's going to look to play behind that. That's QB. He's going to have to look good. D1 Letus looks for it. Finds out the first one to Afro. Fortunately for QB, he's not there for anything because Clax, looking hot, is good for a couple. And just like that, it's down to the final 2. Crims and Body, already going to be back healing off. Maybe Body goes for a bit of information play. He's got an MP9, but carrying that weapon over into the next could be the name of the game since there isn't much money to go around.
What's happened to Maddie's right there? Like, he's providing the support for QB. The other site player goes down for Fnatic, and that's fair enough. He just loses the duel. There's a lot of flashes, good layering of utility for 9 Pandas on a B hit, which honestly is pretty hard to do consistently. But Maddie's gets in there, he's at door, and Plax has time to kill QB and then swing and kill Maddie's as well. Well, I mean, he was fully exposed the whole time. Just a little bit of a confusing scenario as his balance is going to run him down. Body won't even survive. HP bar's low for the most of the 9 Pandas members, but they all survive. Sans, I think Dialet is the one to go. But yeah, a little bit confusing, right? That was where Maddie's was in position to, I think, equalize and or make that round winnable for Fnatic and win a little bit missing.
Yeah, no, the side of Fnatic definitely went a bit missing into that round as a whole. We saw some really good movement come out of them. I love that counter smoke that they put down in between Van and the sites, allowing him to have control of bench. But the player that just jumped onto Van to find him was able to turn onto another player as well. That was what really caused it to fall apart. Maddie's just wasn't able to activate to find that elimination before it caused too much catastrophe there on the site, which allows 9 Pandas to go ahead and convert at that 7th. And now they're looking to go ahead and see how much farther they can press it up, because, I mean, we could be looking at a 9-3 half if the momentum continues to shift this way, because we're on round 11. Round 12 is right around the corner, and Fnatic, they don't have a bye here.
It's a concerning situation, but again, early days in the map. I understand we're about to, hit the end of the half, but I still think that Fnatic, if they pick up like 4 rounds, it's not good. Let me just be clear, not good, but I'm not out on them entirely. And this is not a round that will be free for 9 Pandas either. Look at the space that has just been gathered up. 5-7 up close in ramp, and there is a lack of mid control, but Fnatic don't have the utility to actually fight for that, so they don't have much of a choice. You have the scout as well for Afro, and he's actually been doing a lot with that. That's a little bit wild on the timing.
It was a little bit. We'll see if they can do anything about it. Nope. As we get underway, Steve on Letus tagged down rather low, making his way up along with Glax, glowing low as well, and uh-oh. Oh, no!
I mean,
well, that's massive.
I mean, warnings were made here. QB with a triple kill, and the setup on B for Fnatic isn't even that insane, right? But what happens is that 9 Pandas are all sort of, I'm not approaching from the same angle, but the vast majority of them are coming up catwalk. And once 1 or 2 players kind of falls from there, there's 3 different angles that you can be swinging. I mean, really, there's more. You count the different size of the boxes on site. But there's a bunch of angles that those pistols can just pop out, take a shot, and then fall back. And that starts to become a problem as more and more of those shots connect.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a problem. But as we like to get back underway, we're going to be looking at a extremely turbulent half ending here. We could be seeing Fnatic go ahead and put themselves at the 5th round, just be within 2. They win the pistol. They can then go ahead and tie things up by the 2nd round of the half. That'll be round 14. But the question is, will they be allowed to do that? If 9 Pandas go ahead and steal away this 8th round, that's going to be a 4-round lead to work with, as well is looking to try and put themselves into a more stoic position to have themselves a little bit of extra wiggle room.
Sees has creeped out, but he's not been spotted. Now Crims does, the smoke fades. Got glowing on Cat. Afro swings in, but he too is going to miss the mark. An advantage for 9 Pandas as Afro's got to look back towards B. Body to make an equalizer happen, and this is Body and Maddie's time to shine. They're on A.
Yeah.
Got everything ready. Glowing. Nice shot, but 15 HP, and that should be it for him.
Yep, nicely done, HE for the closer. That'll be the end of the half. Fnatic able to keep it nice and close together. Currently within 2 of a tie. We could definitely be looking at them winning out the pistol and then moving on to go ahead, win out the second round and put it at 7-7 in the 14th. What a critical loss there in the previous round, though. They're up against the Deegs and Scout for 9 Pandas. That was one that they absolutely needed to win.
I mean, this is how it kind of went down, right? Like I said, there's just so much to contend with there. And if QB is so crispy on his aim that he's just hitting that one tap, then swings wide, gets another, there's just not a lot you can do if you miss the first shot.
Yeah, there's really not. But as we do get swinging underway once again with the pistols in hand here. 9 Pandas on the CT side, Fnatic on the T. This pistol round, you really want to win if you're Fnatic. It's not a deal breaker if you lose this. But if you win this, you are most likely looking at a tie. And possibly breaking it as well if we do see 9 Pandas force up into the 14th round. But regardless, we get underway.
Molly for triple on what? What in tarnation?
You know, I didn't even realize it there for a minute.
And they aren't even going to get out off the back of this.
That's crazy.
I mean, they have control of mid, though. And they have jungle. Like, this is still good. But, well, it's falling apart. 9 Pandas. They're forcing fights. They're winning them. They've got more to play as well. 2 left. Body and Maddie's are in some trouble.
All right, Maddie's, this is where you need to hit. There it is. There's one. Goes for the second. Gets the tap. Trying to follow it up. Not able to find it just yet. He backs off. That's smart owl glowing. He's going to wait for his teammate. He's going to allow his teammate to trade him. That's going to be the name of the game here. If he can find out one first time, that'd be good. That'd be great. But quick shots. That's glowing falling. And just like that, it's all on C. C's the last man standing. They're not completely aware of where he is. We don't see him try and plant safely. Fakes it. Shots ring out. Finds out the first. Oh, no. Seized. Able to go through to finish things off. That was a great attempt there by Fnatic. But man, things fell apart there as we waited too long over there towards that left-hand side of sight, all things considered. Just didn't get themselves towards the plant.
Not only do they get onto it, they don't get onto a plant. I'm just so confused at what the game plan was here. Like, they get most of site control, but as all of the utility fades away, they have stairs, they have jungle. It's great, but where's the plant, right? That never comes down, and 9 Pandas eventually start to force their way back into the site because they're not seeing anybody.
Well, as we get back underway, we've got ourselves a bit of a Glock round here for Fnatic. Previous rounds, a bit of a sad one for them. This could have been where they were playing for the tie. Instead, down by 3, about to be expanded to a 4-round lead here by 9 Pandas. We're going to be seeing them play through mid. Shots ringing through. Of course, first player was found. Body is eliminated. Able to take up some control. Look at that. They're in the snipers. Or not in the snipers. They're right outside of snipers. I thought they might have been in there.
Keep in mind, on a round like this where it's just mostly Glocks for Fnatic, this is a map that 9 Pandas, they do like to play a little bit more than Fnatic, even though it's sort of middle ground win rate wise for both squads. 9 Pandas, I mean, they come here more often, right? And I think that is part of why I was favoring 9 Pandas a little bit coming into this. The other side of this, though, and what I'm seeing a bit of, is that 9 Pandas are just really willing to take fights, right? Like, Fnatic seems not so interested in forcing duels. For that, like, 9 Pandas feel confident.
Yeah, no, 9 Pandas have just been swinging into it. It's helped them in several occasions, but sometimes it has fallen flat on its face when they have attempted that. You love to see them making those moves, but we'll see if they're able to continue it up, especially as they're into the rifles now. This is where things become a little bit more turbulent here for the 9 Pandas squad. fnatic could be able to go ahead and start to make a run arounds to get them into a tie. They need to be tied up by 18. Because if they allow 9 Pandas to go ahead and run away with anything else, looking towards 10, 11, and 12, I mean, at this point, you're getting yourself into a point where getting towards tie game could be unachievable. I mean, you're 4 down currently, that could be expanded to 5, 6, and then at that point, you are right on the precipice of map and series point. But as Klax forces the first fight, QB finds out the initial kill.
Like I said, 9 Pandas looking to kind of force the issue a little bit, and I mean, response for losing mid control is often to take some space at A, and that's what they do. It's not just space; it's a frag found. Now they look towards B, but at 40 seconds, there's a re-smoke for the Apps players up close and personal. Our 9 Pandas, and bomb running away a little bit, then coming back. Teased is an MP9, close range. He's just gonna tuck into the smoke, come back out. He's got them not looking, and Crims goes down to glowing. 9 Pandas. It's a flawless round.
It is certainly a flawless round for 9 Pandas, putting themselves up by 5. Nice, tidy little lead to work with. Well, now, as we see them going to be looking towards 11 as well. Let's see. The economy, not in a great spot. fnatic, they're really scary waters now. As 9 Pandas should be able to go ahead and net themselves 11th, which, of course, I said something similar to that effect earlier, where we saw fnatic absolutely decimate 9 Pandas on pistols. So, I mean, there's a world where fnatic can pull something off here and now, especially since they have util and upgraded pistols, but we'll see how it works. It comes down to seeing what sort of execute they do ultimately play with.
Well, the problem is that it's not actually that big of upgrades, right? You know, a couple of Tech 9s, and yeah, Crims has armor, but QB doesn't. Neither does Afro. And there's a P250 there for Maddie's. It's not actually that strong of a pistol buy. Especially because Afro's going to want to keep a little bit more cash so that he can get an op. So even though they're walking into what will be full loss bonus next round, it's a bit of a tentative one this time out. More towards A.
This is A execute, I reckon. Maybe they wait a little bit to go ahead and put down a bit of utility out towards mid. I think there was a big miss smoke just now. I think they were trying to throw a con smoke that just kind of ruined that. QB's good for 1, but no more than that. Very quickly, it's all done to Afro. Yeah.
Whatever the game plan was, it doesn't work out.
No, it doesn't.
Like lurk smoke there as well from the under palace guy. It was Idis Balance, I guess. It was under palace, and he just tosses smoke out, plays around it. Not something I feel like we see all the time, but it works out brilliantly. 11 rounds indeed is found for 9 Pandas. Yeah, this is the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, that right there.
Just provides him a lot of space to work with.
I know, and they don't want to try and force their way through it, and when they do, it costs them their lives. Because it's just waiting there behind it. It works nearly perfectly. Well.
These are back for fnatic. Okay, I like this. Afro's going to creep into Palace, but this is where it should have been like a slow, more methodical play to get set up, but the aggression for 9 Pandas down ramp again catches fnatic off guard.
Yeah, no, it works out nicely. They just keep forcing these fights, and it's working out nearly flawlessly. Right now, we're seeing them on the precipice of putting it at map point. They have a man advantage, and as we see a bit of a waterfall about to occur, we're going to see them looking to pop out of Palace. This seems to be committed. One player in a con. Of course, the smoke is stalling him out. Shots ring group. Maddie's swinging, finds the first. There's the kills, though. Glowing, finding 2 as they fall free. We see Afro and Body now as the last 2 men standing. Body falls as well, and Afro with the op just holding firm into Palace. Not much to be done. He'll try and sneak his way through maybe to get himself a pick, but unfortunately for him, as he does, Klax has his position and eliminates him, putting 9 Pandas up at 12. Map point, series points, looking for 13, needing 1 more to move on. They could be looking to face up against Bat Boom coming up into the semifinals.
As soon as fnatic lose the player up over at ramp, I think that they have to cancel this play because the whole idea of this play is that they creep the op out. Hopefully the op's gonna just stand there for however long it takes for 9Pandas to have somebody swing either stairs or to jungle, whatever he's holding. That's the plan. And once that happens, then the ramp guy is gonna flash out and they'll try and take the site, or waterfall as you mentioned. But when the ramp guy goes down, I feel like you can't actually commit to that play anymore.
Yeah, no, it's rough to commit to that play, to say the least. We'll see what they're ultimately able to do going forward. I mean, they're on the precipice of demise. This might be the end of their tournament run. Well, D1 Lettuce able to find out Maddie. Starts to look to seal the deal. Of course, we're down to a 4v4. We're going to be seeing Seized playing over here towards short, looking for an engagement. So far, isn't able to find anything. Let us make their way up. Oh, Seized. Spots one. But the swing. Afro, nicely done. Starts to open up over here towards B. Bomb not in hands just yet. Oh, look at this. QB. This is so sneaky. Able to find a nice kill there. Trades it down to a 2v3. The advantage going the way of fnatic. I think they keep themselves into this at least for a time.
The bomb being not collected and a lot of space that Tyler is creating. His balance just needs to stay alive.
Oh, what's going on?
QB's gonna walk right into it.
Oh, D1 Lettuce.
This is gonna about to be bombed down.
Oh no, that is not great. Of course, they did find out the other player.
I think this is game over. Actually, the bomb's down.
You think so?
Oh, never mind. Crims is gonna see. Like Dilatus just doesn't know, but he's been shot at, swatted out. Dilatus wins the fight again. He's got 4.
He just needs to run. That's it.
Oh,
this
nice,
is such a shame.
You know,
that's it. It's over. No chance. No plant. And the map and the series to go the way of 9Pandas. What a way to lose it. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's tough. I think that you claw that back. You give them an advantage.